Man, I legitimately miss live crowds. There is nothing better from start to finish. The crowd was electric. It made the show so much better. Money in the Bank 2021 was an absolute roaring success. But without further ado, let's just jump right into this thing. This is the review for Money in the Bank 2021. I'm Conman167, and let's just get into it. On the pre-show, we saw an interesting, very interesting pre-show match. The Usos versus the Mysterios for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I know a lot of people were like, why is this on the pre-show? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, they delivered, and that's all that matters. It got me interested in the pay-per-view. We got new tag team champions. Like, what's not to like about this? How did the Usos win, though? By cheating. We saw Jimmy and Jay take advantage of a referee where he was not in the right position. Jay Uso, I believe it was, put his feet on the back of Jimmy Uso, allowing him to get more coverage, more leverage against Rey Mysterio, and picked up the 1, 2, 3. Just like that, the Usos are tag team champions, and I want to know from you guys, do you like the Usos being tag team champions? Sure, this is a story with Roman Reigns. We're going to see where it all goes, but is this the right call? Let me know in the comments section below. But here we go. It's time for the actual main show. Money in the Bank. We kick things off with the women's ladder match. Inside the women's Money in the Bank ladder match was Zelina Vega, Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki A.S.H, Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Tamina. Really solid match. Nothing to really hate about it. Nothing to extremely love. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not crapping on this one. It was a good match. But I felt like maybe it lacked a little bit compared to other women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. Certainly not the worst one of all time, but certainly not the best. And there were certainly some good spots throughout the matchup, but the one that we're going to focus in on is how the match actually ended. After Alexa Bliss had been completely buried on the outside of the ring, because every single woman literally put a ladder on top of Alexa Bliss, we saw 6 women in the center of the ring set up 3 different ladders as they all climbed to the top. Nikki Cross, almost a superhero, was just a little too smart for the rest of the field as she climbed over the top of the back of her opponents as they were all fighting on top of the ladder and pulled down the briefcase. That's some superhero shiz. But Nikki A.S.H, almost a superhero, is Miss Money in the Bank. What a feel-good moment. What a great character she has been. I love this. You know, I'm sure that there could have been some other options to win Miss Money in the Bank, but like, what's to hate about this? Nikki Cross legitimately has a character. She just beat Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley not that long ago. The momentum is there for her. Like, this is a good move. And hey, you know what? If it flops, it flops. It's just the women's Money in the Bank match this year. They can rebuild somebody for next year. It'll be fine. But let's see what we've got with Nikki A.S.H, because I love her. We then cut backstage really quickly where we see the Usos celebrating with Roman Reigns. Reigns essentially takes credit for their tag team title win. What a heel. But then the Usos in the end embrace Roman Reigns. They have a big family group hug, and it looks like the Tribal Chief has his cousins by his side, ready to go for tonight. Let's get into the next tag team title match. We had AJ Styles and Omos defend their Raw tag team titles against the Viking Raiders. Honestly, quite a solid match. This was better than I ever thought it was going to be. Omos looked like a beast. AJ Styles continues to be one of the best in-ring workers in the world, and the Viking Raiders got their stuff in. You know what? Solid match. In the end, we saw Omos lift up Eric by not one hand, but 2 hands, and double choke slam him into the mat. Game over, lights out. Eric and the Viking Raiders fall victim to AJ Styles and Omos. Now we get on to Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley. This one I was so intrigued with. I was questioning if we saw Kofi Kingston become the WWE champion here. I was wondering if they were maybe going to give him the title to build him up to a match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. But for Kofi Kingston, it was bad news. Bobby Lashley looked like a mammoth. He absolutely destroyed the man. Like, he hit 3 dominators and then locked in the Hurt Lock for the win. Like, right now, Bobby Lashley is not just on another level, he's on another level. He is incredible right now. And for that reason, he has one of 2 matches available for him at SummerSlam. It's either against Goldberg or it's against Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley is at that level. So who do you think Bobby Lashley will be facing at SummerSlam? Let me know in the comments below. Now it's time for Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. Really solid match between these two. And look, we didn't expect this to be a bad match between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley at all. Like, we know what they can do. We've seen them wrestle at WrestleMania. These two women are excellent. And they certainly delivered here tonight. This match was very entertaining. It included one of the most brutal German suplexes I have ever seen. But in the end, we saw Charlotte Flair make Rhea Ripley tap out to the figure 8 leg lock. And just like that, Charlotte Flair is the new Raw Women's Champion. Oh, I'm sure that's going to be well received. And like, I have one question and one question only. Why? Why? Are you not trying to make Rhea Ripley into a star? I get it. Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair. And it's so tempting to put the Women's Championship on her because she makes the title just so much bigger than it actually is at the moment. But Rhea Ripley had the chance to do the same thing. They were giving her this nonsensical booking of being half face, half heel, switching back and forth every single week, depending on who she's facing. She was either a good person or a bad person. They screwed her over. Like, look, I get it, okay? We've had some tweener characters in the past who have been the main champions. But anytime that you're building up a character, you cannot build them all the way up to the championship and not have a defined character for them. It's one thing if you're taking somebody who's already an established face and starting to add shades of gray to their character, or if you take an established heel and you start to add a little bit of sympathy to their character. But it's a completely different story when they've been called up from NXT and they have literally been giving zero direction with their character. Rhea Ripley, is she face or heel? I can't tell you. And that is the reason why she lost the Women's Championship, because WWE does not have a clear direction for her. They saw the idea of putting the title on Charlotte Flair. They're like, hey, here's our get out of jail free card. We don't know what we're doing with Rhea Ripley. Let's just put the title on Charlotte. It's lazy and I expect better. Regardless, happy for Charlotte Flair. You guys know I love her. She's amazing in the ring and everything that she does. I'm just sad for Rhea Ripley that this is how her first run with the Raw Women's Championship went, because she deserved better. Time for the men's Money in the Bank, and this one was incredible. God, Kevin Owens is just the MVP of WWE. Every time he steps foot in that ring, he lays everything on the line, gives the fans some sort of moment to remember. The guy laid his body on the line in this matchup, and he took some incredibly brutal bumps. Towards the end of the match, though, it started to seem like Drew McIntyre was maybe going to win Money in the Bank. He was stepping up on that ladder when all of a sudden Shanky and Veer attacked him from behind. They pulled him out of the ring, and of course there was Jinder Mahal waiting with a steel chair. The dude just cranks Drew McIntyre 3 or 4 times across the back. McIntyre's out. Shanky, Veer, and Jinder drag him to the back, and all of a sudden Drew McIntyre is gone from the Money in the Bank ladder match. Another incredible spot in this matchup was when Ricochet was shoved off the top of the ladder, proceeded to land on the top rope, and hit one of the most incredible springboard sentons I have ever seen. Ricochet is freaking awesome. But flipping back to Kevin Owens, we saw him go through a ladder towards the end of the match. A brutal powerbomb straight through the steel rendered Kevin Owens completely useless for the rest of the match. But in the end, Big E decides to hit a big ending off the top of the ladder, climbs back up the steel, and proceeds to grab the Money in the Bank contract, becoming Mr. Money in the Bank. Big E has finally done it. They are finally committing to this man, and it seems like we might even get Big E versus Roman down the line. They've been teasing that on SmackDown. God, I'm just so happy for Big E. What a win for him. But that does bring us to the main event, the match of the night in my opinion. I was so invested from the start of this thing. Edge versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. These two, the battle of the spears. I don't know what else you would want from a match. Roman has just reached another level in how good he is on the microphone, how good his presence is, his music, his demeanor, everything about Roman Reigns right now screams that he is the main event. Edge, on the other hand, he's got some grit to him. He's got some mileage. You know, he's not necessarily the same rated R superstar that we saw 10 years ago, but Edge is still ready to go. Edge is still ready to bring that fight, and Roman Reigns found out very quickly what Edge was bringing to that ring. After a while, though, Roman Reigns finally had enough and proceeded to start beating down Edge, and it became a very one-sided match for about a solid 7 minutes. Edge wasn't done yet, though. He proceeds to hit the Execution DDT out of nowhere and locks in a vicious STF where he almost makes Roman Reigns tap out. Eventually, we move to the outside of the ring. Roman Reigns goes to spear Edge through the barricade, but Edge sidesteps him, and Roman goes crashing right through that barricade. Edge wasn't done, though, because out he runs towards Roman Reigns and proceeds to spear him through another part of the barricade. So Roman just went through 2 barricades in a matter of 30 seconds. But then came the biggest misfire of the match, and it's unfortunate that it was a misfire, because Roman Reigns and Edge laid down a hell of a match, and it was Charles Robinson, the referee, who kind of took us out of it. There was supposed to be a ref bump, and Edge was supposed to go into Little H, and then we were going to see the referee be down for a while, and the match was going to continue from there. But unfortunately, the ref bump was just probably the weakest looking ref bump I have ever seen. Like, he might have nicked Charles Robinson's left knee. Like, maybe. But regardless, Little H goes down, and he is down for the rest of the match. We need some doctors out there to help him with his bummed knee, I guess. Like, it didn't look that good, but with the referee being down, this opened up the opportunity for Roman Reigns to go and grab the leg of the steel chair and use it as a weapon. Edge woke up to realize what Roman Reigns was going to do very quickly. He grabs the foot of the chair and proceeds to use that bar across the mouth of Roman Reigns, locking in a crossface, the same crossface that Roman Reigns tapped out to on Friday Night SmackDown. The Usos see just how much in trouble Roman Reigns is. They come on down to the ring, but shortly behind them is the former tag team champions, the Mysterios, and they stop the Usos from interfering in this match. After they have a bit of a brawl and go backstage again, we think that Edge has this thing locked and done. He is going to become the new Universal Champion, but oh my God, Seth Rollins out of nowhere. Seth Rollins had said he is next in line for this championship regardless of whoever wins, but he is also holding on to that grudge to Edge. In Seth Rollins' mind, Edge should not have been in this match. And so Sethy Poo did anything he could to take him out of it. Seth Rollins super kicks Edge right in the face, and it seems like that's going to be the end of the match. Roman Reigns goes to line up the spear, but Edge counters out of nowhere. After he counters with a spear, driving his body right through Roman Reigns's, a new referee comes on down to the ring. He counts 1, 2, big kick out by Roman Reigns, and this match is still on. Seth Rollins still wasn't too far away, though. He proceeds to interfere in the matchup again. Edge gets distracted, goes to attack Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns hits the spear, and Roman Reigns retains his Universal Championship. What a match, man, but the night was not done there yet. Edge and Rollins proceeded to brawl throughout the crowd. Roman Reigns stood alone in the center of the ring. Roman Reigns with a big smile on his face. He's thinking, I've beaten everybody and anyone that there is to beat. But then, and his name is John Cena. That's right, everyone. The rumors were true. John Cena shows up at Money in the Bank to close off the show, stares down Roman Reigns, and you know what we're going to get at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Yes, please. Just such an incredible event. I loved this Money in the Bank pay-per-view. The fans, like I mentioned earlier, just gave it a whole new life that we've been missing. But I don't want to come across as a mark or anything like that. I know on SmackDown I gave it a 10 out of 10. Tonight, it's the same thing. This is 10 out of 10. This was just such an enjoyable event. And I know people are going to hate on me for that rating or whatever, but I don't care, man. I had a fun time from start to finish. I was thoroughly entertained by WWE's product, and, I just can't wait to see the next show. But that is going to do it for me here today. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy. Be sure to leave a like on this video on your way out. Also, making sure you're subscribed to the channel. You can come join me on Discord or follow me on Twitter. The links are down in the description below. But thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. That was Money in the Bank. And man, oh man, John Cena versus Reigns at SummerSlam. Oh, hell yeah.